All right. Atoms. Why? Who happens to be in control of this? The more this activity progresses, the more I see them bringing equipment in here, and I'm asking myself, what happened? All right. So who is our sponsor? So for this activity, we have one corporate sponsor, which is Scripps TV. They are a supporting sponsor in the sense that they are the one who gave us this space to use. And they are also helping us out with covering this activity. That's why you are seeing all this activity. On a normal day, our budget no reach. We don't have the budget, do you get? So, but we are very thankful to them. Sometime during the activity, a representative from them will come tell us what they are all about. But if they are active on the internet, you should have an idea of what they are. Now, there is a question at the bottom part here. How can you as a community member help us in other activities? So many of us here are either working with an organization or a group or a firm who is looking for ways to put themselves out there or give back to the community in form of CSR policies and all of that. People link us up with them for other activities we have during the year. You could speak to your bosses and all of that. It helps the community grow further in the sense that we get to have stuff like this happen for us. This is not a paid activity. Ideally, if they were to charge people here, we won't see many of us here. So these sponsors help subsidize this kind of things, and it also makes it worthwhile for us who volunteer to organize this kind of things. So thank you. Okay, who are the MVPs? So MVP is now the people who volunteer, the organizing team. I always give shout out to people whenever they do good stuff around me, regardless of who they are or whatever includes their time. So if you look around, there are plenty of people here who are volunteering one way or the other to help organize this activity, help coordinate the experience. They are the MVPs of this activity, and a big shout out goes to them. So I used to organize community back when I was in Yemen, and I used to do it single-handedly or with just a group of friends who are passionate. That's how I got to know Daniel. But now I discovered that many people want to be involved one way or the other, but they don't know where to start or how to start. So going forward in our community group chat, I'll be putting out info for when an activity is about to come for organizing teams, so some can join. Now, volunteering is not fancy. It is hard work. It is unpaid work. It is grunt work. If you are someone who feels or who knows themselves that they can't deal with human beings, you best not volunteer. It's fancy, it looks nice, we are all coordinated and everything is nice. I just like to give that disclaimer on time so everyone can clear their expectations accordingly. Yeah. So that's how we get involved. Now, superheroes in the background. So there are members of the community who I happen to know who helped put this activity together financially. So as we're planning this activity, we discovered that we were able to get sponsorship in time from our parent community, which is Google. And this put us into a state of dilemma or quagmire, as English people will say. So I had to reach out to a lot of people, or a couple of people within the community that I knew. And we were able to crowdfund the money we used to do majority. For those who know, the boss that brought the UNM folks here was paid by someone. I do not know the person myself, to be very honest. The refreshments from someone, the diesel charge from someone, or a group of people rather. Now, normally, you would want me to list names. It's a normal thing, but I mean, what good is blanket if everybody knows it's Superman? You get? So that's how it is. For their security, for their anonymity, and everything, make nobody become their damn they shout supposed to be so I'm using this as a medium to say thank you to them, regardless of wherever they are, whatever they are doing, however they are getting their money, I believe they are doing well. Blessings upon them going forward. So that's that. There is no how to or whatever it is because I just happen to know them. Because that money they could use it to do chaperoning this weekend. Drop live. I mean, we know how it is in this country. So that's that on that. So who am I? My name is Martin Njoku. I'm a product manager. I cognize GBG Enugu. I love the internet. The series, motorsports, number one, switches around them. You can find me anywhere on the internet as far as social media is concerned with sage_Godspeed. And that's not about me. I will feed into the background now. So I'll just give a quick intro for those who are just getting to know about themselves. GDG is more or less a community. It started by Google around Google technologies, but after time and time, it has grown beyond what it is. And today, it's supporting a whole lot of people in terms of finding their way into tech, starting careers into tech, and growing further. And at the very tail end of it, giving back to community by sharing knowledge and supporting in one way or the other they can find time to. So that's all about GDG. Now, for those who are still undergrads in university, one way or the other, GDSC is GDG's junior brother and is geared, or junior sister, whatever you might call it. It's geared towards university students. It's creating the, how do I say it, the baby cradle for them to start their careers while they are still in school up until when they join adults in the market, the global market. And I will tell you guys how you can get into those places. All right, so these are the URLs. They are very clear cut. So if you want to stay informed about our activities, the first two URLs are in most ways. So take time now, snap a picture, scan with the URL or whatever it is. So the first one onboards you to the official place for you to really sign up and get notifications for activities we do. Our Twitter handle is active and always giving people updates on how to get involved in our activities. We have a WhatsApp group, it's on our unofficial space. I think WhatsApp has how many people allowed in it now? 1,000 good. I remember the time was 150 something, and we went to 256. So you could join us there, it's the unofficial space. It's easier to disseminate information, it's easier to ask for help, it's easier to meet people and all of that. So that's the WhatsApp group. For those who are still in unis and trying to figure out how to get involved in their GDSCs, that's the URL. I forgot to add the link for Women Technicals. So Women Technicals is our sister arm for the ladies, creating a space that is a new link for them. I should add it now, but I forgot. If you are very interested, you can ask me. I'll copy this slide because it's something I will constantly reuse in our activities. So thank you. With this, the activity will start. The scheduling, Daniel is in charge of that. So Daniel will come here. Okay, don't worry, you're not in charge. Just help me cue the team make a run now. So basically, we're supposed to have 6 speakers, and for some reason, some people flipped. I don't understand. I don't understand how you sign up. It's like the people who we complain about in human relationships, where they start something with you and they go to the other person, and the next thing they ask themselves, why? We get. So moving on, we are just going to start off with there are virtual talks which are already pre-recorded. Enugu's internet is funny nowadays, so we don't do live talks. So we'll have our speakers pre-record them. Then the workshops are in person. We have 2 or some people who are going to do that. If you didn't come with your laptop and you're expecting to join a workshop and you're a Flutter person, I don't understand how the workshop will workshop for you. So that's that. But definitely, this activity is recorded. You can always go back and consult and also connect to the speakers. So Daniel, what do we have first? Yeah, let me send you an email so you can just send the URL here. Is it downloaded?
Yeah, but it's on YouTube channel.
Let's not download it. You have it right there. Just share the URL. Share it and just let the URL there. Huh? Is it? Majority of them are virtual. Alright, So let's. I'll, while we wait for them, I think everyone here can be chill. Um, this time so, so this all falls back to planning and preparing. Nothing ever goes according to plan. As someone wise once said that. So let's give them a few minutes and they'll share the video that we're going to watch first. It's from one of the speakers. Daniel, I'm forwarding you something. Daniel, please send me the live URL for YouTube.
For the YouTube.
Okay, I've seen it on the phone.
Okay, Gossen, open a tab and paste.
Open the tab, please. So the first talk we have lined up is from Samuel Abada. Is all about what's it called? His talk is around dressing your widgets with team extensions. This talk is all about dressing your widgets with team extension. So from the little knowledge I have about Flutter, everything is reusable. I'm trying to connect this. Everything is reusable and it's built very modularly to let people rapidly build stuff and make changes. I don't know so much, so that's why I'll stop before I go missing and go drag and do that. And yeah. Wonderful. So as we go along, can everyone please put their phone on silent? So silent if so you don't have any funny phone calls coming with funny ringtones. All right. So the talk begins now. So we're suffering technical difficulties. We'll resolve soon. Okay. I think I should stop talking over myself.
is very brief.
Alright, so everyone to help begins now. Take notes and drink things down.
DC, music organizer of Flutter Legal Community, right? So this program about me. Basically, I'm a mobile engineer, right? By that, I've experienced in native Android applications, Java, Kotlin, iOS, Swift, and of course, Flutter across platform. I don't do React Native. We don't do that yet. Okay, yeah. So my talk today, right, basically addressing your widgets with theme extension, basically understanding your components effectively. By widget, I'm particularly concerned about your custom widgets, right? Uh,
I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, hi everyone, good day. Yeah, my name is Samuel Abada. I work as a senior mobile engineer for Shortlast Mobility. I'm also a co-organizer for
I don't know why I stand like this.
Flutter Lagos community, right? So this program about me. Basically, I'm a mobile engineer, right? By that, I've experience with native Android applications with Java, Kotlin, iOS with Swift, and of course Flutter across platform. I don't do React Native. We don't do that here. Okay, yeah. So my talk today, right, is basically about addressing your widgets with theme extension. It's basically an introduction to styling your components effectively. By widget, I'm particularly concerned about your custom widgets, right? I mean, a lot of us use custom widgets. Your designers give you custom widgets, so yeah. Without further ado, my outline, introduction, common ways of styling, issues with this common ways of styling, theme extensions, and really super powered components. Yeah, so this talk is very brief and direct, so let's not waste time. You can contact me. I'm available on Twitter at Master Sam underscore and on GitHub at Master Sam07. Um, of course, my number and email address is not here, so yeah. So when we look at styling in general, right? We always want to talk. We talk about hey, having to separate your style from your components, right? Take the web for example. We have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Let's ignore every other thing. Let's ignore frameworks, Vue, Angular, React. Let's ignore them, right? Um, my styling, we do our styling with CSS, write the components, right, with HTML, right? So we could do inline styling by using the CSS attributes of that particular component or that particular HTML tag or whatever the case may be. Or we define our style externally with an external CSS, and we link that CSS to the HTML to the HTML file, right? Which is like the go-to approach. Teams tell you, hey, we don't want you to merge the style together with the component. It should be separately. It should be rated separately, right? And I mean, it's different things. CSS is CSS. HTML is HTML. They're different things, right? So, and then when you have an external CSS, since you have external CSS, right, in which you can easily build for different theme, right? Different theme mode. light and dark mode. You can still do your manipulation inside the CSS file without bothering yourself about the HTML, right? So the different approaches of styling irrespective of your background on the web, styling is done with CSS and can be applied inline or externally. In Flutter, it is no different. You can do your styling inline. You can do it with the help of the team of teams, right? Or some external class that hold the customization. But the goal is that we don't want to mix our presentation rules with our semantic information. Semantic information here are our components, your custom components. Your presentation rules are basically your cosmetics, the style. Use this text, use this color, use this radius. Like those are presentation rules. Okay. On the web, we do it with external CSS, right? You can, if you did inline, you fed the code review. Your code reviewer is like this code shall not pass, or how do they say it again? You shall not pass. But anyway, that's that. So let's look at how Flutter material widgets style themselves, how they apply their own makeup and cosmetic. They do this in three ways. They do this in three ways. Either take for example, a container has a color parameter, right? We define the color. It can also take in a decoration, which is a box decoration. The box decoration can take in shape, color, and whatever it can take in, right? Your text widgets can take in style, right? And the style is a text style that takes a lot of parameters. So that's one way by which widgets resolve themselves. Now, when you don't pass cosmetic information in the constructors, the next thing the widget does is to use the inheritance theme instance, right? It checks the theme of context, then if it's a text style now, theme of context or text theme, is it headline one? And if the company uses headline one for a styling, okay, get the text style for headline one, get for headline two, whatever the case may be, right? Or it uses the default theme like directly, which is similar to the above one because it does those theme inside of light, theme that is dark. And by default, you already have predefined values for this. So you use that out of the box. This is how material widgets style themselves. But then, how do we style our components? Oftentimes, we work with designers that provide custom components. Either you have a designer that is not familiar with material design principles or Apple human interface principles, right? Or you have a designer that just like to cook. And I mean, it's nobody's fault. I mean, there are lots of custom components that designers tend to create just to enrich and enhance the experience, right? So these custom components are not available to the team data instance out of the box in Flutter, right? So how do you attend to this, right? So one way people just do inline styling, style a component inline on the fly and they move on, right? That's one solution, right? But that becomes a problem when you're trying to implement different team mode. It's a hassle, right? Uh, People tend to create maybe a class that hold all your all your textiles and a class that hold maybe all your colors. So you have app textiles that hold all the textiles that the designer designed are defined on their style guide, or you have app colors that hold all the colors that the designer designed have all the colors that the designer have defined on your style guide, right? But then in the end, imagine I have defined color for a particular textile to be black, right? And I am on light mode, which is fine. But then I'm going to implement dark mode, right? So it's and then I'm asked to implement dark mode, so it becomes an hassle, right? As to do the same, it becomes an hassle. You try to manipulate your way, right, around the whole thing. If you decide to use the default theme instance, theme data like theme data dark out of the box, it's a problem because you lose out all the customizations that the designer have done because they're not available to the theme data instance out of the box. So you are stuck with doing inline styling again. And who knows? Your code may not even pass the code review. I mean, your code reviewer or your peer that review your code, they're like, hey, this food this food no done well, that kind of thing. Yeah, this food, um, this food did not cook this food very well, so this code shall not pass, right? So the other thing was like, hey, how about we give power to the developers so they can empower their components. How about we give them the way the Flutter SDK is the component widgets with the Flutter SDK are able to style themselves out of the box. How about if we give developers the power to be able to do that exactly to make more sense, right? By that, they could define custom style for their widgets, right? and they could just check it arbitrary, like more like an animated widget format, right? And they could apply it to their component. So in this way, they don't have to bother themselves about team mode that they like, right? And we have team extension. Team extension in Flutter are not new. Then they are new, but not so new. Let me put it that way. I think they've announced it around Flutter 3, early Flutter 3, thereabouts, right? So team extension, as the name implies, helps you to extend the inbuilt team with your own extension and customization. It's usually an interface that defines the custom addition to a team object, right? Team extension can be used for all your teaming needs, your custom properties. Are we looking at custom colors, custom textile, custom decoration, custom borders, whatever it may be, layout themes, etc. Team extensions can handle this properly. Okay. And how do we do this? How does team extension exactly work? How does it even work? Let's take a look at how it works. Yeah, of course, we're going to take a look at how it works. We'll take a look at how it works, right? From defining the team extensions to registering the extension and to using it in our code. But why should you use team extension in the first place? They're easy to use. It's similar to how inherited widget concept works, right? They abolish inline styling. They allow you to easily implement multiple team mode. And if you can use team extension, why not just use it out of the box? I mean, your design may just be one team mode for now, and tomorrow they're like, oh, you know what, you have to design dark mode for this. If you've got inline styling already, you have to start removing those styles out of your components so that you can, implement a second table, which is a lot of hassle. So why not just go with mesh like out of the box? And when tomorrow the designer says, you know what, we're having dark mode for this, all you just need to do is to go to the extension, the team extension for all those components, and then you just get a dark constructor, right, for the dark mode, and you go and register the extension in the dark mode theme, and voila, you are good to go. Like, I mean, you went from 0 to 100 in record time, and that's soft life basically. I know developers could be lazy people, right? You want to do it as quick as possible in the best way possible, right? So yes. So this is how we define team extension, right? Like I mentioned, like it's basically an interface, right? So what you just do is you have the extension name, extend the team extension. So in this case here, we're calling the extension app colors, right? And it's going to hold all colors available to the app. So what you just do is class app colors extend team extension of type app colors, right? And then all the color, we define all the colors here. I use color one as a basic sample here. It could be color for anything of type color, and it may not even be colors only. It could hold textiles together with colors. It could also hold maybe decoration. It could hold anything like a combination of different things. Yes, it could also hold that without issues or that problem, because it's designed to be as rich as possible so it can serve your widgets. Like it's like, how can we serve you better? How can we serve your components better? Right? And they're like, okay, let us give you team extension to serve you better. And then you ask the widgets, how can I serve you better? Let me use team extension. So this is a way of serving your component and your widget better, right? You have to override the default copy with method and the default lep and the lep method. Copy with method ensures that you're able to copy a particular style, right? And then you copy the existing properties for that style and then append new properties to particular, yes, then that's what the copy with does. Then lep, you can easily interpolate, right, between two values of a particular style. So this is a simple team extension, app colors, no god level code, so straightforward, straight to the point, no GPT around it. Yes, so using team extension is as simple as that. You create the extension, then the next thing is you have register the extension. So you go to your team. In this case, I already defined a light theme already. So I just use copy with and register the extension. The extensions here takes in an iterable of team extension. Okay. So in this case, an iterable of team extension, I've defined app colors extension. And then someone might ask why dynamic? This is not JavaScript. Dynamic because your team extension could be of different types, I have a team extension of class of type app colors. I could have of type anything, right? So team extension dynamic, then you register the team extension for whatever mode you want. Light team for the light mode, right? Dark team for, and that's it. It's basically three steps. You define the extension, you register the extension, then you use the extension. So how do you use the extension? That's the question, right? How do you use this extension? It's simple. You just use the extension. Yes, you just use the extension. Right? And how do you use it? Team of context dot extension, the extension type, and you're good to go. Exactly. Right? If you look at my screen, line 131 and 135, team of context, text team, headline, medium, body large. This is exactly how material widgets style themselves, right? You can see inside the team instance already, text team, right? And the text team already have headline, different uh, style defined in it, body large, headline medium, whatever name the material design gives to them. Uh, that's not the purpose of this talk, right? Exactly. So it's similar to how this is how uh, widgets in Flutter generally style themselves and look up their particular style or theme. So we're basically using the same process to start our custom components. This time, team of context, but we call extension because we actually registered the extensions. So team of context, the extension type, and that's the. So in this way, we already have my all colors available to the app colors extension here, right? And we just do my colors dot color one and voila, you already have it already. I know someone might ask, how is this different from defining a regular class app colors, right? And I mean, and then calling app colors dot color one. It's basically like, I mean, it's not the same thing now. Anyway, look at it very closely, right? I could go back to my app colors class, right, and define constructors, right, for light and dark. That's one. Number two, it might not even be colors only. My expression could be as powerful as that it hold other styling configurations, right? Take for example, I want to display a transaction card, custom transaction card designed by my designer, right? And the card has colors, it has some custom color, it has a custom font text style, it has border radius, it has let's say linear gradient, box shadow, right? I could just define, I could just define a team extension for that style. I could just call it transaction card style, and it will hold things like radius, radius, textile, colors, and whatever customization I do to be available, right? So you're going to have parameters of different types. You have type one of type color, one of type textile, one of type double, different entirely, right? So I just have to locate this team extension and then call dot color for the color, call dot textile for the textile. I could just call dot linear gradient dot box shadow for the shadow, dot radius for the radius. That's a rich a rich and a much bigger broader team extension, right? So the power of team extension, right, is basically in you being able to hold custom style and properties for your widgets. That's the biggest power of team extension. So yes, the code I wrote here is basically different from doing regular class that hold the app color, right? So by the time I define for constructor for light and dark, and I registered them appropriately in my material app, right? Your widget is able to look up the tree and render it and apply its own makeup depending on the theme mode of the system. So yes, it's as simple as that. Very straightforward. Team extensions don't have to be so fancy and serve specific widgets. A team extension could basically just hold textiles. It could just hold colors. It could just hold layout themes, right? Those ones are just basic and straightforward. It's not fancy. It's hold the colors, hold the textile, hold the layout theme, and I use it out of it directly. No stress. right? And they could be so fancy and robust that it hold cosmetics like for widgets themselves. I mean, when you look at, I don't know how makeup works. I don't know, maybe eyeshadow, mascara, lip gloss, eye pencil, and the likes. These are different properties, right? Exactly. Your team extension could hold different properties like that, right? And serve specific widgets. Exactly. So team extension don't have to be so fancy and serve specific widgets. That's the title there. And serve specific widgets, right? It could be so basic and hold basic things like textile and app colors, or they could go as high as holding cosmetic styling properties for individual widgets. So yes, that's team extension. Nothing so big about it. It's straightforward to use. Um, like we just say, software engineering is all about learning, right? So to learn more, you could check the Flutter YouTube channel, Team Extension, Decoding Flutter. I think it's a very good video on Team Extension and why Team Extension, right? You can also visit the Team Extension demo available on that part of dev, the Flutter team, and you could check the sample repository I created for or demo team extension. I think I call it BAT team. There's nothing big about it. Not no reason why it's BAT team. I just like Batman. So in the Bat cave, we have to use Bat teams. That kind of thing. Yes. So that's it for team extension. Thank you so much. Just a reminder, your team extension don't have to serve specific widgets and do not have to be so fancy, right? They could hold just basic styling properties and information. Okay. Yes. So thank you. My name remains Samuel Abada. And in case you have any question or you need to you could reach out to me on Twitter. I am Master Sam underscore. So thank you.
Okay. Close to the mother.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good day. Yeah. My name is Samuel
Collect the new round. All right, so we had just a very good talk from Samuel, and it's all around widgets, just as you have said here. Now, how many of us got our head blue? Like, nothing came through. Don't be shy. I like an honest person when I see them. All right, so essentially, you can always follow up with Sam, catch him on Twitter. Just put it today's event hashtag. So there's a hashtag for today. Flutter forward Enugu. Flutter forward extended Enugu is capitalized, meaning that the first letters of each word is capital letter. Tweet at him, put the hashtag, he will know you are from these activities. You can ask him further questions. For those of us who like to find mentors on the internet, you can see if he's also available to do that if you are serious about it. All right, so that's basically it. Don't forget his Twitter handle is Master Sam. Huh? Okay, good. People are listening now. I like that. All right, so that's that about it. So the next talk is from Zach Okosi. Okosi Sochua. I happen to be the person. He does stuff at Okro. How many of us know Okro? Who's playing the live stream in person? Wow. Collecting from two sides, real life and on the internet. All right. So I'm just going to cue his own talk, and he's just going to share tweets.
Baby, welcome to the
I don't know. I didn't know. I was never aware. Why do you share this timestamp? Anyways, so this is a very fancy person. They love drill. You already know that. I'll try my best to find where stocks at. At your own spare time, you'll get the URL. If you're a big fan of Possum and there's music, God rest his soul. Or we starting from the very top, you can vibe if you want to. I like that guy. Like it. All right, so I'll turn down the volume slightly, so because post smoke is often loud, and everyone is going to be very acclimatized to that. So okay, so um, how did you do this? Okay. All right, so Kosi Stock is going to start now, and please pay attention. Gentlemen, can you help with the lights? All right, so
Everyone, Kosi here. I mean, good evening from my time, good morning or afternoon there. I do sincerely apologize for not being able to make it the best of the workshop. I was hindered by unavoidable circumstances. But certainly, I'm still here talking to you remotely on the topic building resilient Flutter applications, lessons for learning from platform engineering. This topic is going to be broken down into two sections. The first section is going to be introduction with subsections of my background, professional background, and experience I'll be sharing. An overview of what we mean by resilient Flutter applications. Then the next section, which will be a deep dive designing Flutter applications for resilience, we're going to be talking about the importance of building resilient Flutter applications, principles we are taking from resilience and reliability engineering, and how we're going to be infusing them into the Flutter context. Once again, thank you for staying tuned, and I do sincerely apologize for not being there in person.
That you see I'm on, you wanna out me. What the fuck do these people know about me? Everybody on the block talk about me. Way back in the day you used to doubt me. Now that you see I'm on, you wanna out me. Got your boy feeling like I'm fat Gucci. Fans wanna do me, hoes wanna sue me. If you get some money, better bring it back to me. Everybody.
So let's take a quick view at my background and where this world of experience will be coming from. I'm currently a platform engineer at Okra. I'm a software engineer with over 6 years of experience in Java, Kotlin, Dart, Python, some JavaScript, TypeScript. I know, right? And of course, there are respective solutions for backend or mobile development, as the case may be. Before my current role, I had ventured into a few startups myself. Along the line, I was also working with a range of clients and employers from various sectors to provide innovative solutions which met their business objectives and expectations. Now, what does it mean for one to be a platform engineer at Okra? Now, Okra is one of the frontline companies leading the open financial revolution across Africa, and as such, we have a fleet of financial products and services which we offer as SDKs, libraries, APIs, etc. As a platform engineer at Okra, I specialize in designing and maintaining some of these packages, ensuring that they are scalable, resilient, and reliable. Today, I'm excited to be sharing with you some insights on how to build resilient mobile applications in Flutter, drawing on my expertise in the field as a platform engineer and software engineer as a whole. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, what do we mean by resilient Flutter applications, or what do we mean by resilient mobile applications? Excuse me. Now, firstly, I'll start with basic explanation. In layman terms, when we say a person or an item is given the attribute resilient, when we say that something or a person is resilient, typically it's said that such a person or a thing can withstand pressure or stress or challenges while staying true to their nature. Bringing it closer to home context of software engineering, when a system is said to be resilient, then typically we're talking about the system's ability to withstand disruptions, failures, while still delivering its intended services. Sometimes these disruptions could come up within the system scope. We're talking about internal exceptions or errors or failures. Other times is dependencies. The services